Hello. All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Or good morning, Aram. What's up, Aram? Looked like you disappeared there for a little bit. All right. So markets have been undulating and back and forth. You've been getting chopped around. Is that what's been happening here? Hey, what up, Mike? Oh, okay. Cool, cool. Cool, cool. Well, yeah, let's get to markets. Markets are well, they didn't fall apart. Okay, so we had the uptrend, this little uptrend here, broke the trend line, and pulling in a little bit. We had opportunity yesterday, kind of, I guess midday in terms of the day here to go lower. Um, Only an idiot wouldn't have some Bitcoin. Oh, I'm public. I didn't realize I was public, guys. Sorry. I guess I started a public video. So I guess we'll get some public in here. Didn't realize I did that. What's up, guys? Render token. Oh, you actually swap like yeah, well swapping Litecoin's good. That's a good thing. Yeah. I didn't realize I'm in public. Sorry, guys. AVAX, not a lot of volume in the last few days with no progress. I think it's not a good look. I actually I'm taking the opposite perspective, although, obviously you got a position. I don't have any positions. Um, I think AVAX actually is not bad. I don't think it's too bad. So it's not that it doesn't have it's not that it has volume with no price progress. I guess you could view it from that perspective, but let's view it from another perspective. The other perspective is the fact that BTC has come in a substantial amount, 16%, and AVAX probably has pulled in 16% from the high, but it's tight compared to its recent highs from the breakouts. So we take that context. So Bitcoin failed to break out here above 69, and we pulled in. AVAX, to the contrary, has been able to hold that breakout level for it. So you're right, there is a decent amount of volume up here, but we're not selling off. So I would actually, because most of the market is selling off, I'd actually take the opposite perspective. And yeah, you say it looks good versus BTC. Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, just holding up here nice and tight. The volume is declining a little bit, which I think is good, especially the past couple of days. So I think that's good. Hey, what's up, English? So, but yeah, so you got right here. I think it's good. It's holding up. I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. Now you do have a little bit of a head and shoulders feel to it. Little bit. You do have this left shoulder, at least the start of it, with pretty high volume, and we do get lower volume. The head here does have lower volume, and then this right shoulder area does have lower volume. So the same 5006 we had as the breakout level for the left side of the cup. Right now is basically acting as a neckline. Although in reality, you probably could get a little more aggressive with the neckline and draw that as the neckline. So upper channel falling too. You say falling or failing? I can't see that far. You said failing. Okay, that makes sense. Upper channel failing. This upper channel? Let's see that. I'm not sure what are you seeing. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, if it does fail, um, yeah, if it does fail, draw the top first. Oh, I see what you're doing. Yeah, if you want to view it like that, I'm not a big fan of these. I'm not a big fan of those, to be honest with you. Maybe that's a flaw. Um, I guess I just in these situations where because these upward channels and an upward trend, first of all, they're technically not bullish; they're technically bearish, and that's not why I don't like to use them necessarily. But I just feel like I don't know. Upward channels and an upward trend just seems weird. So, and I think a lot of other things can come out of them, such as a head and shoulders pattern. Um, we've also seen them go sideways in form cups and structures like that. This one's also pretty wide on the daily. So you could say wide and loose. I think wide and loose may be a bit more accurate than no progress upward, but I guess they're both accurate. It hasn't had any progress upward. But like I said, the context of the market right now is the market's been moving lower, and this has none of that movement. So I think the context of the market moving lower is a little bit more substantial than AVAX's specific case of not moving higher. It not moving lower, I think, is more bullish than it not moving higher, because not moving higher is normal in this market circumstance. So, anywho's it, that's kind of what I think is going on there. All right. Give me 1 second here. Big sneeze. All right, let's circle back to BTC. I've got a new keyboard. It's very loud. Apparently, they don't make laptop keyboards anymore. It's all mechanical keyboards, so everything goes clickety clackety clack, which sucks. Like Logitech doesn't make. I had a nice Logitech keyboard, a K570, I think is what it was called. Dope ass keyboard. They made it for like 10 years, and they K740. Then they discontinued it. Mine's torn to hell. Then my computer died. I had to get a new computer. May as well get a new keyboard. So that thing's weird. Okay, let's circle back around to BTC. So we definitely had a market pullback. Several new lows. We undercut moving averages. The 10-day in blue, 21-day in orange, and the 50-day in purple down here isn't doing so bad. We also do have a little bit of trend line support here, although we are breaking it, not in really bad fashion. So I think we'll just go sideways through it. We can probably eliminate that trend line actually, right there. A higher low. Yeah, this one. So that is encouraging. That is a little bit encouraging. I was thinking maybe inverted head and shoulders, but the volume signature is incorrect. Yeah, exactly. Volume signature is incorrect though. The neckline's good. I do like the neckline. I think we talked a little bit about this one maybe working out, and it took us up to the highs. This one may take us past the highs if this were to work out. But um, with as many times as this market is whipsawed, I'm not really I'm not really into calling bottoms at this particular point in time. I think it's more about just noticing, and then if things get bullish, yeah, maybe. If you find yourself down here towards this potential head, like right now, I think that's too much risk given the market environment. So I really wouldn't be viewing it as a potential buying opportunity right now, because like I said, we said this could turn into a inverse head and shoulders. It did not. It came over here and rolled right over. Right? So this one didn't work out. Now we're saying it again. It's like, how many times are we going to, the market should be screaming at us what it wants to do. We shouldn't have to be sitting here, making prediction after prediction after prediction. So I think it's okay to identify that. I thought the same thing. Um, but at the same time, I don't think it's something that we have to, you know, put any money to work in. Um, a while back, we did a survey of how often the market goes up. We said it's about 20-30% of the time, right? That we actually get a rally. And I talked the other day in the show about like this big snapback day about how people get really excited and they get upset that they didn't buy the bottom and stuff like that. But, it's not your trade. This isn't, we're not sitting here hyper focusing on buying each and every one of these bottoms. We're generally breakout traders. And in these consolidations, buying bottoms ends up causing more problems than it actually solves. It doesn't make you a tremendous amount of money. Um, Obviously, if you're sitting watching the chart, and you're active, you're like, I should be able to do this. But the fact of the matter is, it's hard. And there's no like the other day down here in the low, there's no massive signal that said, oh, you got to buy this, you got to buy this. There wasn't anything. You had a divergence on the RSI, but if you traded every divergence on the RSI, you'd be broke. So I don't think that's necessarily something amazing. You did have going lower on not high volume, but it wasn't necessarily lower volume. So like there's no major signal down here. This is a bunch of garbage. These two big green candles, we undercut those. And then you have this candle, which is kind of a high candle, but like if you were to go like this, that is not a good look. That is not. So you got to give yourself grace for not buying that. And then you go to the next one, And yeah, I'm on the 2-hour time frame here. Go to the next one. That doesn't look very good. And you go to the next one. That's a nothing candle because lower volume and kind of just printing the other one. The next candle is a nothing candle. I think that's our bottom candle. So you got to give yourself grace not buying the bottom. Everyone's always doing playing hindsight. That was a daily Bollinger Band bottom. That was a key signal for me. Well, okay, well in that case, if that was a key signal and you missed it, got to ask yourself why. Probably because the price action maybe wasn't giving you any confidence. So, but a signal is a signal. If that is a strategy you employ routinely, then you got to ask yourself why you didn't pull that trigger. But I can't imagine that was a big signal for a lot of different strategies. So going back to baskets of traders, remember we discussed that a long time ago, and we keep bringing it up. There's Bollinger Band traders, there's MACD traders, there's Fibonacci traders, there's breakout traders, there's bottom buy traders, there's RSI divergence traders, there's VWAP traders, like all those traders, like how many strategies was that a signal for? 1, 2, 4, I don't know. So, but anyway, so we bounce up, lower high here, and then roll right over, higher low, to your point, Mike, so that's good. So, I mean, I think right now we're just in a consolidation. Reminds me a little bit of when AVAC or Solana was breaking down. What's up, Kumishan? When AVAX was breaking down, or I'm sorry, Solana was breaking down over here, remember we rallied past the 78, got to this 120, and just kind of moved lower. Trying to buy any of these bottoms would have been difficult unless you were just holding forever. But, we end up with a kind of a decent bottoming candle here, not quite a hammer candle, but we did undercut here. We did rally back through pretty substantially. So it's almost like we're just going to float around for a bit. Smash the likes. Yeah, there you go, Midwest Picker. Thank you so much. Smash the like button there. Since we are public after all. Anyway, but yeah, so it just reminds me like this. Not that we're going to have big down moves, although we could, and that would shake out some people, probably be very healthy for the trend. But it just reminds me of kind of this downtrend that begins, and you're like, oh, trend's shifted, and you never know what's going to happen. This turns into a big old base, and then before you know it, we're breaking out 2 months later. It doesn't feel like it was 2 months, but it was. And then we start breaking out in Solana again. So it just kind of feels like that. It just kind of feels like we're not doing anything too dramatic, not doing anything too good or too bad. So, even steady as she goes, I guess is the term. There's this trend line here, it looks like. Let's go ahead and extend this out a little bit more. So that one could hold us up, and that would give us a nice structure to maybe finally go through 70,000 with some momentum. But it's not bad here. You got some small trades, but nothing dramatic. You're not looking to go 10x on a low down here or anything like that. If that's something you routinely try to do, again, you would have likely had strategies to get in here and or get in here. But in a lot of these situations, most strategies, it's hard in the chop. It's really hard in the chop, especially without a defined range. And keep that in mind too. There's no well-defined range. We may have it now that we do have that high or low. So our range may be from the high and then down here to the 60,790 level, whatever it is, 61, whichever one it is. So this low right here, 60,794. So this may be our range, in which case that maybe could have been actionable depending on your strategy. But again, give yourself some grace. You don't have to be involved. No one's gonna come and punch you in the face for not trading this. A couple times, you deserve to be punched in the face for not trading some circumstances, but not this one. This one, your face can get a break. All right, so I think that's about it. I mean, we could look at major cycle wise. I don't think there's anything extremely important. So we can look back at that previous 17,000 breakout, which I think is here, or 19,000, 20,000 breakout, which is right about there. So here we pull in a little bit, we do this, then we get going again. So in this situation, we do pull back in some. It's going to bring all these trend lines in when I do this. I've already got a line there anyways. So yeah, we chopped around here for a little bit, kind of got low volume, also holding up above the 50, and then we circled back pretty quick And I guess if we're lucky, we're in this situation, right? Maybe we're a day like this. And I don't know how many days we are back from that high, but this took 16 days to finally break out again. Maybe it'll take 24 days. Maybe it'll take 32 days. Maybe it'll take 6 days, which we're past 6 days. But you get my point. We don't know how long it's going to take, but it's the price action of here it tries to go lower volume as it tries to go lower. You get a pop up here. Notice the volume is nothing, and then it just keeps going. So these three candles, right? This is a little bit of an interesting situation. There's just no selling pressure. Like no one is selling. Look at the selling pressure on my VA tool. Not pretty much consistent, no uptrend. Then it even dives as we go higher. Some of these bigger sell candles expire, which is why that goes lower. Then you get some pocket pivots through the breakout. So we could be looking for something like that. You know what I mean? There's always that possibility that we do rebound. Um, so there's the 50-day, and if we go, not that it's going to go 16 days, but hey, there's 16 days. We have plenty of time. We have a low established, volume's getting lower. So if we start perking up here, and then we start to try to break up here. Now here we did obviously take out the high a little bit, but that's okay. It is what it is. Distribution here, there was a little bit more distribution here. We're not as flat. There is some selling pressure. It's not the same. But the point remains, we could chop around 50-day. We're still above that 50-day. Also, this trend line is right now riding the 50-day. I'm not sure if you can see it, but that orange is right in the middle of that green right there, and we're just a tinge above it. So plenty of room for us to go sideways. And like I said, this could take a little while longer, but yeah, we could shore ourselves up, look good, then finally pop. And that's, in my opinion, where you want to get involved. Right up here when we start to break. Maybe we form something else down here. I don't see a double bottom on here yet, so whatever it may end up being, it will be. And that's it. We just have to wait. We just have to kind of wait and see the price action, wait for healthy price action. If you try to buy bottoms, it is a recipe for getting stopped out multiple times. And you get stopped for 2, 3, 4%. You can't do that too much. You can do it a couple of times, but you don't want to do it too much because as dumb as it sounds, just a realization that the whole point of this whole endeavor we're doing is to keep money, to make money and keep it. So your main focus should be making money and then keeping it. And, Warren Buffett's rule number one is not to lose money. And so for us as traders who has a different strategy than Warren Buffett is to really not take as many trades as we tend to take. And, like I do a lot better when I take fewer trades. Just a lot better, just fewer trades. Like the other day I bought Nvidia again, and by the end of the day I was down like $1,000. I was like, why? Why am I doing this? Like, this is like it's like I'll show you Nvidia if you guys aren't following it. Like it was a good day, had a good day. Like could start to break out, but I'm like, why did I buy this? And then I sold it. Whatever. I don't care. It's like I was done. It's not my trade. It's just not my trade. So I know Nvidia is a monster company. It's going to do good. I think this is going to go higher. It's going to go a lot higher. That's one of my homework things this weekend is to make a trade plan in case Nvidia does break this 974, consolidates in some way, then builds momentum to break the 1,000 barrier. I think we'll go to 1,300, maybe 1,500. But like I've got to wait for that break. Like why did I buy Friday? I was stupid. Like I was bored. I was bored watching it go up 3%. I'm like, why aren't I in on this? And I bought basically the high of the day, and that was down $1,000. I'm like, I'm just gonna exit, whatever. So the fewer times I trade, the better I do, and it's gonna be the same. I would argue for almost anybody. I mean, if you find you're making 4 or 5 trades a day, um, if you're making 4 or 5 trades a day, those aren't all profitable trades. Probably. I mean, I hope they are. Your own journaling will tell you what they are and what they're not. But a lot of people don't journal, so they don't get that feedback. They're just stuck in their head the whole time. You're stuck trading in your head over and over and over and over. And then you end up and you're down 20% in your account for no reason. So, why you didn't buy Soxel? You told me to buy. When did I tell you to buy Soxel? I don't remember that. I told you to buy Soxel? I'm kind of pissed I didn't buy it down by the 50-day. This had a nice pullback. This pulled back in 30%. I thought that was good. I think I'm going to wait for this to pull back a little bit. No, that's good. No, good. Yeah, good job, Aram. I do not remember telling you to buy Soxo, my friend. I'm sorry about that. I don't remember. But I was thinking myself to buy Soxel. Maybe I told you what I was thinking. Yeah, down by the 50 day would have been a good bounce. Good stuff. All right, back to BTC. Yeah, we'll do a meeting, Aram, for the we'll do a meeting for the FYF trading stuff. I haven't announced it. I've been crazy ass busy at work. It's been insane. I did stop a house from burning down yesterday. That was fun. That was interesting. All right, let's keep it moving here, y'all. Let's move on to Ethereum. So, I mean, that's my whole thing on Bitcoin is that, less is more when it comes to trading. Um, Slow is fast. Generally in life, like, you guys are, everyone here is pretty much old enough. You come to realize there's a saying is called slow is fast. And what you realize, at least what I think about when I hear slow, and I repeat it to my kids often, but they don't get it. They're young. They're stupid children. Slow is fast means that do the right thing at the right time, you'll get good results. The rest of the time, it sets you back. And, like every time that I don't follow that rule and I do home automation and I do service and I try to fix stuff, every time I rush to a conclusion and think I'm done, like it's never a good thing. I mean, sometimes I'm right and that's fine, but sometimes I'm not, and it really sets me back a lot. So if I were to slow everything down and take my time, things tend to go a little bit smoother. And the same with trading, right? Slow your trading down. Slow it down to the point where, like if you're sitting on a 5-minute chart, move out to a 30-minute chart, move out to an hour or 2-hour chart. Slow it down so you're not as um, inundated with signals. That's a good thing. All right, move on to Ethereum, which isn't looking nearly as good as BTC. Started as pullback, really kind of uneventfully, just kind of went higher on some lower volume. We did notice that a little bit. Yeah, we did kind of notice the rising and lower volume as we got up here on quite a few coins actually. Then the market started rolling over, and then broke a trend line here, had the big shakeout there, and then the big snapback. And it's been okay. We do have that higher low here as well. But again, just looks like a nice consolidation. And I don't think you can fault anything for Ethereum for what it's doing here, down 25%. No issues with that. Still well above all kinds of trend lines. This one can get deleted right now. Support at the 50-day. We'll see if that maintains. As you form these bases, these moving averages do end up converging. So no harm, no foul there. Looking good overall. We don't have. That's another thing here is we don't have any climactic topping signals. So I don't think there's anything horrible. Although at the same time, last time we were at 69,000, we didn't have any climactic topping signals either. Although we did have a correction trigger on the follow-through day system, which we're only at 2 distribution days. So we're not doing horrible. BNB. So most of these right now are just going through motions. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on most of them. Talk on BTC kind of applies to all these in reality. Binance Coin not doing too bad though. Did give up that 538 level. There you go. Did give up the 538 level and brought it back. Supported the 21-day. So this also consolidating a little bit choppy. This one could go on to double bottom. A rollover here, an undercutting of this would put in a double bottom type of situation. Could get down to the trend line, and that would be pretty good. Volume's declining nicely here, and we're holding up pretty good. So BNB, nothing really too wrong with that, but it's definitely not actionable right now. Solana looking pretty good. This thing consolidating, volume declining very rapidly, very rapidly. This day is almost 50% of that big day, and we really haven't gone much lower. Although we could. We do have a little bit of a bear flag right there. And then boom, if we crack this open, then we're looking for support at the 21-day, which may coincide with the low from here, and past that the 50-day. So Solana right now, did have a good run up. Didn't look like it on this log chart, but it was a pretty good run up. And then pulling in right now. Could try to get involved with the trend line. I don't have an alert. I do like the declining volume here though. I think that's really good. I think this declining volume is nice. Although if it does increase to the downside, that would mean another leg lower, and maybe could do a double bottom here too on Solana. But again, nothing to do at the moment. We got to wait to see if it's going to try to flush out lows and bounce back, which would be akin to a double bottom. And We'll see how it goes. But really nothing actionable this weekend for with these large altcoins. XRP is a bunch of garbage. So we're not going to spend pretty much any time on XRP because why would we do that to ourselves? I'll like you guys a lot more than that. Cardano. Also, pretty much most of these are kind of garbagey right now, as a matter of fact. Cardano's pulled back substantially. Tried the 78, couldn't do it. Rolled over. Um, Again, no major bottoming signals. That's one of the things right now that makes me think that we're not going to snap back. Is there's just no major bottoming. Volume is declining on pretty much everything. And we did talk about AVAX already. So we'll circle back here, but AVAX is doing okay. AVAX is doing okay up here. I do like the fact it's holding tight. Again, I don't think it's actionable. Volume declining pretty well. We did have a sell right there, which is green, which is a little bit troubling right there. So we'll see how that goes. But I like this sideways. So if the market can short stuff up, like look, this isn't actionable. Really, nothing's actionable right now that we're going to talk about. I do have a couple of altcoins that are looking okay, but right here in the mid, like we're almost dead in the middle of this thing. We're a little bit lower, which is fine, but like there's no edge buying this right here. So this is just good to note. You need to note these that are behaving differently. Anything that behaves different from the normal, put that on a watch list because you got to see how it behaves. And it could give it up, it could roll over if the market rolls over. No issues with that, but we shall see. All right, next up is Dogecoin. Dogecoin popping up a little bit here. Hey, Pete, how you doing, bud? How you doing? I've been pretty good. A little choppiness in my life, but pulling through. Things are working out. Thank you for asking. How about yourself, man? Dogecoin here. Choppy, trying to go higher here a little bit. Do you participate? Do you not? You got to make those decisions. There's a resistance point. So this could be a double bottom base, and actually that 18, I was trying to grab onto the number there. This 18,497, a little bit low, but that could be a pivotal point for a breakout to the upside on Dogecoin. Dogecoin did have a nice rally though here, right there, pretty good. Dogecoin did have a pretty good rally. Oh, yeah, thanks, bud. Yeah, I don't put it out all the time. There's always still the power hour. I still do that, but I'm also on another channel called Altcoin Buzz Trading right now too, so you can find me there. Really short videos though, not really this type of content. Yeah, Floki. Yeah, we'll take a look at that. Let me write a couple of coins down as a matter of fact. Since we're looking at Dogecoin, doesn't matter too much. Let me do this real quick. Let me write those coins down. I have a couple other here I need to write down too from the newsletter. Some good newer altcoins. And what did Mike want to do? Is BOGO or something? Boom. And then Shiba. Shiba's coming up in a little bit. And Floki. I think I have Floki on my new coins list. So that's good. APT? Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's not on my list. So we'll throw an APT on there. We'll go through the top 20, which we're about halfway through, and most of it was spent on BTC. So bonk and ton. Okay. All right. Next up, let's look at this won't take too long. We'll do all those next. Probably take about 10 minutes or so. Tron. All right. Tron pretty much died. Tron died. Started rolling over, killed the moving averages, broke through the trend line. This is a dead trade. This is dead. This is basically, I don't think it fully broke the primary trend line, but do you want to wait for the comeback, I guess, is the real crux of the matter here. That looks like about the primary trend line. Definitely broke this intermediate trend line. You don't want to break intermediate trend lines if you can avoid it. So, and this one pretty much dead. Could snap back though, but you're just trading. You're not really holding for bigger periods. Not from what that looks like. But Tron is a weird ass coin. I'll just say that. It's just weird. All right, next up is DOT. This one's been tough all the way around. It really has been. Very choppy. Not consistent. Really not a big fan of this token. Chainlink, similar situation once it lost its leadership. Had great out of the gate. I mean, just spectacular, beautiful out of the gate. Consolidated nicely, broke out nicely, and then just did a bunch of nothing. So I don't know. Tested the 623 a couple of times right there. No major issues, but really not super actionable. This is not bad from a horizontal perspective. Maybe get it a little bit higher here at the 18,534. Volume would have to come in. Volume is consolidating nicely the past couple of days. So this may be actually one of the few actionable situations. Small inverted head and shoulders there, even though volume's wrong, leads to a move. But look how choppy it's been. Very choppy without a lot of price progress upwards. And looks like my stream's being a little bit choppy. And I'm back. Okay. Next up is Matic. Matic also choppy. Nice downtrend on Matic though. Or it's a Shiba. What the heck did I do here? Oh, you son of a bitch. My timestamp somehow went to a date and it screwed it up. Oh well, it's just Matic. Who cares? Next 2397. Um, will we get up through this trend line? So I think I'll throw an alert here actually on the trend line. 3001. Whoops. Can you guys hear my keystrokes? I'm just curious. So I got a new computer. My last graphics card was an NVIDIA graphics card, and I had that super cool RTX voice, and I didn't even think about that um, when I bought a Radeon AMD graphics card. I'm like, oh shoot, I'm gonna lose my RTX voice, and I did lose my RTX voice, but AMD has an equivalent, so it worked out. I was curious if this is as good as the other one. All right, so my last alert on this was 922. Wow, 3001. STX, yeah, I can add that to the list as well. And next up is Litecoin. Oh, I gotta timestamp this. All right, so Litecoin, big pile of garbage for the most part. Tried the 91.4, which wasn't really a bad level. It did really well, then it just died. So I don't know. I like Litecoin as a technology, but as a trading vehicle, it's absolute trash. Bitcoin Cash, however, has been better. We did have a cup that formed past couple of days. Did chop as we went through the 437, but is back today and performing pretty well. Volume actually picking up. This looking much better. Almost, I don't want to say like Bitcoin Cash of old because it's definitely not that, but pretty good. Pretty good. If you were following this late yesterday, maybe you got alerted and kept following it. So it's been pretty good actually since it started breaking that 437. Little pullback there. Nothing too crazy. If you're lucky, your stop was down here at the 406, and you could have held on to that. So we'll see how this goes. Now this one does have, you can see right there, high volume, not a big price breadth bar. That is distribution. So we'll see how this goes. This could just stall. This market right now isn't really giving us a lot of runners. So that could be interesting. Next up is Atom. Atom doing a bunch of choppy stuff down here. Higher low like everything else, but not really interesting for any kind of a trade. Next up is ICP. And ICP's been bouncing back after undercutting the trend line here. Um, kind of difficult to jump in on this one. It is in a bit of a consolidation. It's tough to do anything with this one. I don't like the signals coming out of it. I'd rather wait for something a little bit more concise and more classical. You have a higher high here, a slight lower low here, it looks like. So that could be an undercut and rally candle. That maybe could have been a good one to try to get in on. But up here, I'm not sure if buying these highs are advantageous. Now, consolidation would do the body good here. That would confirm this rally. A nice consolidation, not selling off, would be good. Uniswap. Uniswap choppy lower down and similar higher low, but just random price action. Not a lot of edge here, I don't think. Did find support down here at the 50-day, which is good. And again, this could be forming, a larger base up here as well, which I think would be good. So wrapping up the top 20 USD. Um, so wrapping up the top 20 USD, a lot of chop. There is some movement on some tokens, but it's kind of difficult right now to really have good expectancy out of some of these moves. So as we're in the middle of this consolidation on BTC and a lot of the other tokens, there's some big days. Dogecoin's up 9% today. Bitcoin Cash up 9% today. You just have to figure out the strategy to try to maximize that, or you don't do anything, or you don't do it. And it's hard to have a good strategy in chop like this. It's really difficult. All right, let's take a look at some of those coins that you guys had mentioned. Um, and Mike said head and shoulders on Solana BTC. Take a look at that real quick. Maybe volume signature is a little off. I think this is what you're seeing. Pretty horizontal though. Yeah, I mean, a move down out of here would either Solana would be breaking down or Bitcoin would be rising. So we'll see. There's also a declining trend line here. So yeah, whichever one breaks first. Yeah, volume signature looks a little bit off, but it's not bad. It's not too bad. Volume's in the wrong place on this one. That's hard to say if that candle's actually support or not. Yeah. It was a pocket pivot. It did go to the red, but it darn near closed towards the middle. It's a little tough right there. Not too bad though. All right, let's take a look at those tokens. You guys have, first up was Bohm. I'm actually not familiar with this name. I'm assuming there's going to be more information than this somewhere else. Poloniex, let's try KuCoin. Oh no, wow. HTX? Bybit? No. Poloniex? Nope. Wow. So what is this? Book of Meme? Is that actually what this is? Book of Meme? How weird is this? So what's the story on this one? Let's go to CoinMarketCap and check out Bohm. Let's see what kind of garbage this is. Book of Meme number 114. Someone's got some strong market cap game. Oh, it's a bunch of garbage. Experimental project poised to redefine Web3 culture. Blah, blah, blah. There you go. That's funny. Stop it. Stop it. I think I actually could have built this website. Yeah, I really do think that I am capable enough to build this website. 100%. Um, okay. Well, if you're going to TA this would be an IPO base, and your breakout would be right there. Not a bad doji day right there with some good high volume. Yeah, so you just got to wait a little bit more. There's not enough going on here to really make a good assessment. But yeah, starts breaking right there. I mean, everyone's going to start piling in. So, not too bad. Floki. All right, so Floki with a all-time high breakout. I do think we have been. Do we? Yep. This is one I do watch. Geez, hold on a second, y'all. Not sure why all the hiccups. Actually looking a little better here in the shorter term. That's a bit of an ascending triangle. Go to the close there, give up a little bit of wick, but not much. And you do have not a bad situation, actually. Not too bad. Let's see if it can start to pop up. Uh, Pretty good across the board, I think. This high volume candle is that big one right there. There's a little bit of distribution up there. XRP, nothing. No one cares about XRP. It had its pump like a week ago or something. That was it. That's all you're gonna get for 3 months. So, but yeah, this is a little bit more intriguing than a lot of what we've seen. This is much more structured. This is called structure, ladies and gentlemen. There's random and there's structure. So here's a nice move up, good volume, and then you've got a pretty nice consolidation. Pretty good volume signatures, not amazing, but pretty good. This one could try to go up again. It's obviously already had some pretty good rallies, so I don't think this is one you could actually take a trade on this one, I think. So that's about it. I think it's pretty good. Hey, what's up, Christina? How you doing? APT, which this one we do have. APT continues to chop its way higher. Yeah, it hasn't really given up the goat. Hasn't given up anything actually in reality, but um, I do like the fact that it's holding up. That's good. Obviously, it's not extending upward, which, you're not seeing a ton of distribution. Selling pressure on the VA tool, not super high. It'll probably give it up at some point. If it holds the trend line, that would be really good. It means it's going to start going up. But not an amazing setup. I do like the fact that it keeps going higher. It does have higher highs and higher lows, so it is in an uptrend. It is in an uptrend. So if you want to try to buy the bottom of an uptrend, this is actually not the worst opportunity. About 3% stop loss. But like I said earlier, uh, you don't want to be chopped up too many times. You want the triggers you pull. You want to make them few and far between in this market environment. So if this is something that a structure that you're used to that you like, yeah, I don't mind if you want to take a shot at it, especially if you're used to it. But in this market environment, unless today turns out to be a bounce day, which it could, then I think you avoid that. But if it's part of your strategy, I think you can go for it. Bonk, bonk. Looks like it's had a rally, and it's not doing that right now. It's doing something else. Not bad volume decline, low here, higher low here. We talked about random price action versus constructive price action and structure. It's not really constructive. Good uptrend here, but it's pulled back almost all the way. That's not good. Um, it'll probably get going again at some point. You just kind of have to watch it. That could be a low for a while. Maybe we can chop around, then form some kind of interim high, and that could be an entry point. We're also still kind of within the confines of this high. I don't usually like the big spikes up on those first days, but we did spend a little bit of time up here, and we're not up there anymore. So a lot of these coins like this, guys, you really got to get like this. This could get you interested, okay? But the problem here is no one's looking at them. That's the problem with a lot of these tokens is no one's looking at them when they look like this. Everyone looks at them when they look like this. And then they pull back, and then by then they're a bunch of crap. So here isn't too bad. You do have a couple nice uptrends here. Your volume signatures are in the right place. And the VA tool shows it to you as well. You got some big gaps here between the greens and the orange. And then you start to move up. Boom, you get a nice pocket pivot. There's an early entry signal. Then you get a breakout. Then you get a move. Right now it's a different situation. Right now you're like here. It's going to take some time probably for this to suss itself out. Could be a week or two, could be longer. You just never know. So difficult situation. You got to get these on these early, but the problem is no one looks at them early. No one's aware of them back then. Ton. Ton coin, is that what it is? This the one you're looking at? Hey, that's pretty. Hey, who put? Oh, there you go, Don. Don got that one. Or Martin. Bonk, Bohm, and Ton. Ton's actually pretty good. Look at this thing. This thing cupping out. Big old shakeout right there. Big move up. Volume signature's not too bad. We are distributing a little bit. Warning from the pool. Look at you. I do this from the pool, but I can't see the damn screen. 786 percent away from there. Already getting some distribution up here, though. That's definitely a little dangerous. A lot more distribution than you would like to see. This has already had a substantial run. So not too bad. We did talk about AVAX. We haven't talked about Render. Yeah, you did mention Render. You or somebody did. We'll talk about that. I didn't write that one down. Still have to go through my USD pairs as well, the ones that I did see. But yeah, so this has a little bit distribution on it right now. It's going to make it tricky. I don't think it's actionable right now. STX. This thing holding okay. Again, probably not actionable up here. If you do, you're likely to just to get stopped out, as it probably is just going to chop around a little bit. But it's in a really good trend. I mean, try to buy it on a pullback if you can. There's no traditional breakout thing happening right now. So I think from that perspective, it's hard to do anything with at the moment. Jesus Christ. Hold on a second. I got to take this. All right. All right, guys. Sorry about that. Cars in the shop. Yeah, we'll be right back, folks, pretty much. What? RP, what kind of garbage are you into? MAGA is web a token? That's crazy. Um, but yeah, so stacks are not too bad. If you're in it, I don't see a reason to ditch it. But if you're not in it, I don't see a reason to get into it. Barring any kind of a pullback or something like that. A pullback would be good. But you can see it's chopping into these highs over the daily kind of double top, and it's not making a lot of progress. So again, this whole market right now isn't really, it's not setting up. Setups are better. Random is not. Render. So render's kind of been a good one. Yeah, I guess you got to play the memes, huh? Just not too into it. Okay, there you go. Yeah, render's been good. It's definitely still working its trend. There's no major topping signals. This is not. This is definitely better from an entry perspective than some of the other ones we've seen, but we're still in the consolidation. There's really not a lot going on. We're failing. We failed up there, kind of island topped up there. So this line here at the 12,667 is very likely going to be the resistance. You probably could pull this in a little bit to there, and that pretty much could be your channel. You move up and down, around them. That's not uncommon. Um, be prepared for shakeouts if it moves lower. But yeah, it's looking good. Overall, it's looking good. But we get these consolidations like this, and then you start curling up, and then you start to have maybe an area. And what makes this intriguing versus buying down here necessarily, it's just the fact you've held up. You formed a little bit of a base, right? So, and this also kind of coincides with the pivot point right there. So you can try to buy at the pivot point, right there if you want to, or you could try to buy there. With actually, that's a cup and handle now. At that point, that's a cup and handle, and then there you get the breakout. That's what causes the breakout. So right now, again, it's just massive chop at the moment. Got some, yeah, 10. Oh yeah, $10. That's a big round support number. So there you go. Yep, not mad at that. So if that ends up being supported at 10, that's really good. That's a good round number support. Yeah, put some limit orders at like 10.10 or 10.20 or something like that, and maybe let it go. So yeah, that's not too bad at all. All right, what else? What kind of weird tokens are you trying to? Hold on, I gotta figure out how to do this without screwing up everything else I have in my sheet. I have a bunch of stuff over here. I don't know what it's for. Retirement math with different principles. Yeah, it's a lot of work. I probably shouldn't delete it. Okay, I'll do it like this. Hold on a second, guys. Insert 7 rows above. Haha, there we go. So I have to make room for those other tokens in my list. So which ones, what kind of garbage stuff did you have? Where is it? I'm getting old and my eyes are really starting to suck, so. Where's all the garbage you wanted me to look at? There's Floki, Bonkenbaum, STX. Okay, I am officially blind. There it is. Okay. Is that GLQ? What the heck is that? TPU, MAGA, and Web. Alright, I don't know why I'm timestamping all these. Whoops. GLQ, so this is not a Binance token. Um, okay, in a little bit of a pullback situation, that 21-day moving average, which is an orange on my daily time frame, that does look like support, and it looks like we are there. Lower volume the past couple of days, so that's not too bad. It's very extended. And we are kind of breaking in towards all-time highs without a lot of fanfare up here. So that's a bit of a tough dichotomy. It may stall out because there's just nothing above those all-time highs. That's going to be a little difficult. There's no major base. Here was your last base, double bottom base. Probably right there was your buy at 0309. And it's up at, what is it at now? 14. Holy shit. That's crazy. That's a lot of percents. Only 368. Oh, okay. Seems like it was more than that. Bit of a base there, bit of a base there. It's way extended right now. Doesn't look like there's a lot of momentum. Probably will, unless we get massive volume back, and I guarantee this is probably like ranked 392 on the, let's check it out, GLQ. GLQ doesn't even show. Oh, there we go. 649, number 649. So yeah, it is super low. It is super low. It could try to go, but I'm not betting the farm on it for sure. All right, next up is TPU. TPU USDT. Bybit Byget. Is this one that's only on BTC? No. Bittrex. Wow. So this is really a garbage token. Is it TRU? Yeah, TRU. It's got to be this one. What's this one? Why does it have TAO and then give me true again back down here? It must be different ones. This one did get some volume recently. That's interesting. So that's actually interesting. No major setup here. You don't have a major base. This one, you're just praying on this one. Not bad though. Yeah, definitely not too bad. If this is the one you're referring to. I'm not gonna go through all the freaking weird ass little altcoins. I've already done like 10. I still got a couple more to go. MAGA. I can't imagine this is super high quality. MAGA USDT on MEXC, is that the one? So many weird ones. It's a meme coin. You just look for patterns and go with it. I know, but there's a billion of them. There's a billion of them. Come at me with a chart with some volume or something. I will say this, though. This doesn't have a lot of negative volume necessarily, so that's not a bad thing. The other question is, Mike, is how do you get some of these stupid-ass things? I mean, who's on MEXC? I don't know. I'm not on MEXC. So this one's okay. I mean, if it goes through the trend line here, if you get initial volume, that is key. No, I trade none of these. I probably should. But in all actuality, I don't care that much. It's too much for, at least for me, guys. You have no idea how fucking busy I am. You got no idea. I'm super, super busy. Um, and then just to try to keep up with all these garbage meme coins too. Oh yeah, I guess you could do Uniswap. That's true. Yeah, well, stupid always makes a lot of money in crypto. It's one of the hallmarks of it. Um, but the problem is like being in tune. I have a feeling with a lot of these, you have to be in tune with them and kind of understand the whole meme culture thing, which I don't. I don't have the time. I got two kids. I got soccer. I got things 3 days a week. I got a full time job. I got three other part time jobs. I got all my trading shit. It's just too much. And then to add shitcoin trader to my resume. Shitcoin trader is a full time job by itself. So, but all these principles still work on shitcoins. Not that they don't work. It's just that I don't have, like, if I see one that's really good, I'll pay attention to like one or two, but I won't. Like back in the day, we used to rotate through all those coins, but it's just too much. Mm, yeah, maybe but what's the portfolio allocation? So for me at that point, Mike, and I agree with you, comes down to money management with shit coins. Like, what's the strategy? So let's talk about that for a second. I timestamped it. What's the strategy for money management with shit coins? How many shit coins do you buy? How big are those positions, and what percentage of your account is allocated to shit coins? Because I mean, there's going to be 50, 60 shit coins, 50, 60 shit coins, and then do you buy all 50? Is that do you allocate? Well, to your point about a five position portfolio, uh, is that five shit coins or one position all the shit coins? So, but what are the good ones? They're shit coins. You don't know what a good one is. Now, the charts can lead you to some good ones if you're early enough in the cycle. We've actually seen some really amazing charts out of some garbage tokens. Some of them have worked, some of them have not. But if you go through like 100 or 200 of them, yeah, like WLD. Well, WLD, so there can be new coins that aren't necessarily shit coins, right? We can agree on that. We can agree that new tokens, and see this one had a very nice early consolidation. Remember, we looked at this chart. Like, this is a nice IPO base right here. Very classical for crypto. So you look at something like this, and then you get big volume in here. Like, this is a no brainer if you're noticing it. So if you're noticing this, like, you buy it somewhere in here at the 130, but you have to go stopless, obviously, right? You have to go stopless, and you just have to buy it on whatever exchange or uh, network, right? And you just have to hold it. So this you buy at 1.2 and here at $8. You're still holding this. It doesn't have an exit signal on it yet. Um, you're still holding this. But yeah, you're just holding it, which is fine. But again, it comes down to money management and allocation. So I don't know. I would argue this. So our Pete says he's got 3% of his portfolio in shitcoins. I would say, here's what I would probably say. 10 to 20% of your whole portfolio. Given your risk tolerance, our Pete's is 3%, which is fine. But if you want to make the thing to make big money is you have to have big positions. Period. You have to have big positions. That's the only way to make big money. There's no other way. I mean, if you're super lucky, you'll get something like Doge, which take 1,000 to whatever it did. I don't even know what the fuck it did, but you have to have big positions. So if you're going to allocate 10 to 20%, and then how many positions do you take? Well, I guess at that time you'd have to go through all the shit coins, because keep in mind, shit coins come out constantly. So it's always a bunch of new shit coins. Then they're going to be down 10, 20, 30, 60%, and then they're eventually going to rally. So here, like on WLD, this had a decline of 60%. Just depending on when you got it. If you bought it out of the gate, you were down 60%. If you bought it on this first initial, maybe one of these green days, you bought some of these or some. Maybe you bought right on the breakout, because you could have argued that this was a breakout too. So maybe you bought right there. So that downdraft isn't too bad. That's about 20%. That you can hold through, and then you're profitable for the next couple of months. But this is a strategy that likely can take many months to years to play out. Only AI crypto. Yeah, but what does a partnership with Nvidia really entail? Do you remember back in like, I don't know, it was 2018, 2019, everybody would partner with one another and it would like be a big pump for a day and it would just go to shit after that. Like, what does the partnership truly entail? You know, I doubt Nvidia really gives a shit about a crypto named Render, to be quite honest with you. Especially back when they were small. They may be big now, but back when they were small, probably didn't care too much. Yeah, well, yeah, that's another. Well, keep in mind, in all honesty, most people's positions aren't going to be big enough to worry about liquidity. To be honest, I mean, if you're putting 200K into WLD and that's 10 to 20% of your position size, you're probably not watching me on YouTube. Okay, you're probably well versed in what you're doing and could really give a shit. But yeah, but that's kind of what it goes. Render provides GPU, which is hot right now. Okay, all right, I gotcha. Yeah, we can look at Render too. Render, probably once a shit coin, and this one really took a shit. So 96%. So again, when do you buy this shit coin? How much do you allocate? Like, you just got to be honest. You just got to be completely honest about all of this shit. You just got to be completely honest about all of it. And but yeah, so I would think 10 to 20% if you think that the shit coins are really going to be the place to go. And they do provide good gains. I mean, 2400%. If you like, let's just run the math on that. Let's say you allocated 2% of your portfolio for that or something. Here for the answers, not the questions. Well, hey, you got to ask the right question though. To be honest with you, you got to ask the right question. And there is no right answer. Every trader is different. We all know this. There's no right answer. It's just the point. I think the questions are more important, Mike, because any answer I give, everyone here will second guess. So doesn't really matter anyways. But yeah, so that was what, 2,500%. So that's a 250x, right? So let's say you have a $10,000 portfolio. You allocate, this is called 20%, which is 2,000 bucks. And let's say you decide to take 20 coins. You decide to spread that across 20 tokens, so you have a $200 times 250. 50 grand. There you go. That's just 5x your account if you got that at the low and sold at the high. So, yeah, that's not bad. That's kind of a realistic scenario, right? Because you want to spread it out. You want to have 20 of them. That's not bad. From 250 bucks to 50 grand. That's pretty good. Yeah, so allocate a portion of your portfolio, and then go for it. But right now it's hard to say. Like obviously you're not going to get Render down here at 40 cents again. It's hard to say what's the right shitcoin to get into and when. We are later in the cycle. Here's SCI. SCI had another one of those classical ones, and look at this one early on too. This even had good signatures. It had a lot of green volume early on. Still take the downtrend, but these downtrend like these guys, these are really the ones. These are really the ones. And we've talked about this in prior cycles too. It's just hard to stay really up on it. But right there, you start breaking trend lines right there. That's a great place to take positions. This is how you trade these. You want the answer? This is the fucking answer. I'm telling you right now. Find a token that isn't a piece of shit. Arguably, SCI is not a piece of garbage. Find a token that's not a piece of garbage, and you buy on an early trend line break. That's what you do. That's the best way to go. Period. 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 Not that it's late cycle, but you're not get. I don't think you're getting these discounts. There will be a few. Obviously, there will still be a few. Um, there will still be a few. So that's 636%. So on the same $200 portfolios, it's 1,200 bucks. So that's pretty obvious right there. So yeah, you'll get some. Yeah, not bad. Yeah, it's not stupid low anymore. So if you buy SCI right now, is it still a shit coin? I would argue it's not. I would argue at this point this is not a shit coin. Um, you would definitely have to find, and we do have a couple. So this is the new Binance tokens list, and let me actually, I got a couple. Yeah, so some are on here. So let's look through this. There are a few newer ones on here that we did go through when we found those mics. So look at these. So TRB, there's that trend line break right there. But again, you have to wait a couple of years for that. And is that one of 20 you're going to buy, right? So this one could have got hurt pretty bad on that one because that one just keeps going. For crying out loud, can I just have auto on? There we go. Like Jasmine here, this one, maybe I don't know where you want to get this one. This one's a little bit weird. TIA, this one doesn't have a downtrend. That one's hard to get in on. This one, um, meme, I thought this one looked okay from a technical perspective. Held off, failed breakout. Do you buy it on this trend line break? In which case you're still holding it. Um, JTO, you've got this one with a trend line break. We talked about that one already, obviously, when we first put it on. Again, you're still holding on to this one. So these are the tokens you're looking at. These ones that you're holding for months and months and months and months. So here's a trend line on Blur with some good volume. That one you could have gone in 19 cents. We're at 57. Cream, like all these are sideways garbage tokens. There's SEI with the trend line break. ASTR. You bought this down here. You held on for fucking year for no reason. So, it's one thing to look at all these and go, oh, I should have bought these, but they're tough. Like Ronin right back up at highs now from 45 cents to basically a 10x right there the last time it broke this trend line right here. Broke kind of didn't maybe broke that. Maybe that's where you want to get in is 313 on this one, but um, the volume comes in really in towards the highs. Are you going to buy this? Are you looking at this? Why are you looking at this? So, yeah, year for no fucking reason. Basically. But again, that's why you got to buy 20 of these. That's why you can't buy 5. You can't buy 2. You have to buy like 20 or 30 or 40 of these things but again, I think I said something earlier that I think was more key than the other things I said. Quality. Find something that isn't a complete shitcoin, like an SEI. Something that is at least attempting a layer 1. Okay? Um, and you don't know, like Render, like obviously that's not a layer 1, right? But why are you in this one? Is it because of AI? So, okay, so then you're looking at AI shit coins. You're looking at this shit coin. Like there's different types of shit coins. So, and it all looks good in hindsight. It's just not saying it's a bad strategy. I'm simply saying that you have to make it broad enough so one or two of your shit coins hit. Because if you take that allocation, you got 20, in our example where you have a $2,000 allocation, one of them's got to hit 20x for you to break even, right? Or if the other ones go up a decent amount, maybe you'll do better. But if you miss that one that goes up 2,500%, then it's a futile exercise. So that's the dichotomy. Do you hyper focus on quality and look for good chart patterns, or do you spread it out really wide and hope something goes up 50x, and then hope you spread a cast a broad enough net? That's what you've got to figure out. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't think we did a great job with Solana. I mean, to your point about Solana, like we knew about it up here. We said we followed it the whole time. We said don't forget about it. We said everything right the point. But yeah, buying at 6, buying at 10. Like, why didn't we just put the whole fucking account in Solana at $10? You know what I mean? There's some things that are more prone to working than not. Like 50 shit coins or buying Solana at 10. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. Um, you get these moments and we talk about it. We still botch it up a little bit, right? Still botch it up a little bit. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Yeah, but Mexican Charlie Lee or Sergey Lee, that's not what I'm talking about. Looking at render, you're talking about it now. If you want to get that gain, you got to buy it here. at 57 cents in July of 2022. This, if you're taking these diagonal strategies, you know, this is probably where you buy it. Right on this volume, right after the volume, somewhere in here. You buy it here for 50 cents and then you hold it for 6 months and then it starts to make some moves. And it makes a move and comes all the way back down. Is that okay? Is this, you know what I'm saying? So this is what I'm talking about. Not now. Obviously everyone knows about it now, but if you're going to have the shitcoin strategy, that's where you buy. So when we're going through these new Binance tokens, so I did have Floki. So, some of these are going to work out okay. Like Floki actually worked out pretty good. You could have bought that on the breakout, didn't hold for too long, and started doing good stuff. JUP, which I have on my newsletter today, similar situation. Got a trend line break, volume starts stepping in. You have some, so this is where you buy, like right in here somewhere. That's where you buy. You buy when there's some volume and there's some support, when we broke in trend. Then I think you can have a bit of confidence in holding some of these. But, anyway, it is what it is. So I think that's the narrative, in all honesty. I do not know, Mike. I think you got to email support. Maybe you got to, I don't know, click a button somewhere. You have to click a button somewhere, Mike. That's what it is. Maybe have no money in your JUP wallet. I know Binance has different wallets for every coin, I think, right? Something like that. Okay, so let's keep going through. But I think that's the way to go. If you want to do shitcoin trading, like actual shitcoin trading, you buy them just like I showed you. You you allocate 10 to 20% of your portfolio, and then between that 10 to 20%, I do believe you hold about 20 tokens or something like that. But try to find like really good ones, or ones you think you can get some hypey ones, you can get some AI ones, you can get some this, some that, some of the other thing, right? I think that's what you do, um, to kind of spread it out. Like, oh, render GPUs, that's kind of cool. Maybe that's one, and you would have caught the move. But right now in the market cycle, there probably are still going to be some shit coins that are going to be good. But so like here's one. Here's probably a good shit coin. So that one, see, we didn't have big volume right there, but it was okay. So now you can maybe have another kind of trend line. If it holds the lows, here's you get some volume. It could be interesting. I have no idea what DYM is, but and so here's another one with a big old trend line break. And this one could have bit you in the butt. Right there, you buy that, and then it undercuts by 68%. So if this was on your shitcoin list, if this was part of your shitcoin strategy, this one's down 68%. You got to have one go up 150% to make up the difference, right? Some are going to do this, some are going to go up nicely. You just kind of have to feel it out. All right, on to my list of tokens that I found. And USD pairs, there we go. GRT. There you go. Set the scene up again. GRT, I think, is in a pretty interesting position. GRT, not too bad. Nice little pullback here. Getting to the point, probably have divergences on the RSI. No, not really divergences. I guess, yeah, a little divergence here between those 2 points. Lower low here and a higher high here. So small divergence here on GRT. Could be done going lower at about this 36-cent level. So maybe we'll start to do something. And this trend line support is coming in play as well. Volume is declining. I think this is an interesting opportunity. I don't have an alert for this one quite yet, but maybe in the next coming days we will. Next up is QI, which I think these ones I'm already in the new Binance tokens. Yeah. All-time high for I don't know. Was it 133? Oh no, it's higher than that. $3. Yeah, I don't know, Aram. There's really no way to tell. Obviously, Solana's a lot closer. Solana's like right here for all-time high. That's almost a certainty. It's at least going to attempt it. This could. I mean, I don't know what kind of market share it has right now and what. I mean, I think that comes down to some fundamental stuff. To be honest with you, I think if it holds good market share, if it's used Yeah, I think it's got the potential to get there, but you just take it one leg at a time. Next time it stalls out, we'll be selling it again. So, but yeah, I think it's a good one. I like the setup. I like the consolidation. It's orderly. There's not a lot of rush to get out of it. Volume aggregation tool paints a really nice picture, actually. So, you see the buyers have eroded away. Sellers are a little more consistent. Not a huge issue there because the sellers aren't really rallying a dramatic amount. You got the RSI coming in right at the middle. This is at a level in an area where it could start to do good things. You'll probably throw some fibs on there, Rom. I'm sure you've already done it, maybe from this low to this high, and this probably pulled back to the 38 or something like that. 50 is probably about here, it looks like. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, why even bring it up? Why even bring it up? Don't even bring it up. Yeah, 43. So, sounds like a great trade to me. 15 to 43. Take it. Take it, walk away. I mean, again, if you want to get back in, just look at it with your strategy. You know what I mean? How does it fit with your strategy and your entry rules and stuff like that? Just treat it the same as any other trade. But it's looking good. It's been consolidating now for a couple of weeks, and I do think it's looking a little bit better than a lot of other tokens out there right now. JTO right there. This one coming down to kind of a supportive level, and I like the volume decline, very orderly, not really rushed to get to the downside. Um, so this one is a shit. This one's a shit coin. Speaking of shit coins, so I do have an alert on the trend line at 30606. We'll see what happens with it. Not really, I'll probably never even buy it, but it's not bad. You get some good volume stepping in on some of these. Oh yeah, another thing I like this too. I forgot about that. Is that we're kind of getting towards highs here. It's almost a really big cup and handle. So this could start to get really interesting from that perspective. Let's look at what it does. Since we are Saturday, almost forgot we can do this. Number 277. So it is a shit coin, but not like rank 600 like we've already seen. So that's not too bad. Let's take a look at what it does. Obviously MEV powered. Let me make sure I know what that means. Solana Liquid staking. Oh shoot, I think I gotta go here pretty soon. I think I have soccer at 11. It's 10:20. We're still good. Something about staking with Solana. So yeah, looks like it. So not bad. So it could get going if Solana stays good. MDT? Yeah. I'll add that to the end here. I'm gonna go through these pretty quick, guys. I want to make sure I don't miss out on soccer. Capital gains taxes. Say you're filed for the gain profit on a coin that you have held for 9 months. Would you hold for 3 months to reap the benefit of a long-term hold? Not if it costs you more than you're going to. Because keep in mind, if something rolls over, because your capital gains, I don't know what the percentage, like max, it'll be like 40 or 60%, somewhere in there. I don't know exactly. Um, but you don't trade for taxes. You trade for the trade, and the taxes just kind of are what they are. Because you can erode those coins really quickly. I'd rather pay the taxes and take the gains than end up losing half of my thing and then still pay taxes. Half of your gain, then still pay taxes. So no, you trade for the chart. That is all. Period. You don't trade for taxes. Now, if you're like 1 day out, or if you're 2 day, like if you're like, okay, I'm gonna have to pay, 200,000 dollars in taxes. I'll let it go down 10%. You know what I mean? Not a That's fine. But if it's 3 months out and the whole thing's collapsing, absolutely not. Fuck no. You're gonna be down, probably more than 50% by the time that works out. Ah, jeez. All right, next up is Ronin. So Ronin here trying to go towards highs there. 4432 is the new alert level. Pretty interesting one. Um, as this one is trying to go higher. We are just stalling though at the 4432. So keep an alert is not an you have to buy here level. It is a level to watch it. This has been kind of layering up. Just got to see if more volume steps in here. But I think this one's interesting as it's holding at highs. There really isn't much that is holding at highs right now. A lot of things are pulling back. JUP, talked a little bit about this one. This one's been pulling back the past several days. This one is an all-time highs. Great volume signature. Now we did just see another token. I don't remember the name, that consolidated for a long time, similar to this after going into highs, consolidated for a long period of time. I love the volume dry up though on JUP right here. The volume dry up is really aggressive. That is great. You go from super high volume, about 3x average volume on the 16th, and then yesterday on the 22nd, you're like a third of average volume. So this is really nice. If these lows can hold, you could be looking at an entry on GUP here real quick. If they don't hold, you're waiting longer. Ondo. Ondo holding up pretty good here. I'm not sure this one's going to work out, but good volume several days in a row here. 80845 is the alert level on this shit token. Pretty good volume here. Nice consolidation. Could have a good extension. Look at that volume coming in here in the middle of the day yesterday. Definitely some distribution on the high volume one there, but that's why we're in the consolidation. I do have a web up here. Someone wanted to look at web. I didn't look at that. And then we'll look at MDT, and then we will go. Illiquid as fuck. I'll say that right now. With these wide ranges, definitely not something you're interested in. Yeah, not very good there. And then MDT. Sorry, I had to text my wife back. MDT in a bit of a pullback situation here. Bear flag, technically. That is a bear flag. And this thing's been a little bit all over the place. Not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of anything that's this wide. It's just really too broad. 3 cents up here all the way to 11 cents. Like a 300% range. Not a big fan of this. You'd have to buy it really low and slow. Or on the, yeah, pretty much on the way up, like right here. You'd have to buy it right there. I don't think you want to buy. I mean, I guess if you want to buy and have a stop get hit, or maybe most likely get hit. It's a tough one. Not a fan. All right, guys, that's all I got. I got a bail. I got soccer. I believe it's at 11, which is in 35 minutes or something like that. So I got to run, guys. Thanks for joining me here today. We'll do people involved in FYF trading. We'll do that probably later after I get back. I got to check my schedule. I do got a busy day today, too. I got to do some work on the house and shit. But wrap up the markets here real quick. The markets overall, not bad. I do like the consolidation. I don't think we fully topped. We only have 2 distribution days on BTC, but we are choppy. We're definitely choppy. There's some coins holding near highs and some coins pulling back. So choppy. I mean, there's really not much more to say than that. I would try to avoid pulling triggers if you can. If you see an amazing setup, yeah, go for it. You know, we're going to have some alts are going to have some good moves regardless of what BTC is doing. As long as BTC is stable, we're going to have some altcoin movement. So that's the thing. Like Dogecoin now up 13%, was up 9% earlier. So this is having a little bit of a go. We'll see what it does at the trend line. So, all right, guys, have a great day. Stay safe. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.